My name's Littlekuriboh, and this is the Tyuno project.
What's going on, gamers and anime fans? My name is Tyuno, and I'm here at Momocon 2013, and with me is the godfather of the Abridge Series, and his name is Littlekuriboh.
Yes. Also known as Martin Billany in real life. It's very nice to meet you, Tyuno.
Nice to meet you. So tell me, how you liking Momocon so far?
Having a great time. Like last year I came to Momocon and it was like one of the best con experiences I've ever had. So I was very grateful to be invited back a second year. I'd come back every year if they invite me. It's been really fantastic. And of course Atlanta, Georgia is wonderful. They have a fantastic Brazilian steakhouse just down the road that I'm looking forward to going to after tonight's done with, and filling my belly with meat and never stopping. It's going to be great.
Well, I'm sure that every year they're going to call you as Littlekuriboh at Momocon.
Oh, well, I'll keep going back.
So
You can't get rid of me.
So with that being said, I just want to know, my first question is, how do you come up with the name Littlekuriboh?
Oh gosh, the story I tell always changes whenever people ask me because I keep forgetting parts of it and then remembering other parts. But I originally, and it sounds really stupid, I originally wanted to be known for writing fan fiction because I wanted to break into the Yu-Gi-Oh fandom some way, somehow. It was a big deal to me at the time because I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was going to call myself Cursive Dragon, because cursive is you know, writing and everything, and there's the card Curse of Dragon, and it was a terrible play on words. But then I think I forgot about that name, and I decided I was going to do more videos than actual writing storylines and everything. So I just decided to go with something that was familiar, which was the Kuriboh, which is kind of the mascot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of like the Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon. And Little, I don't know, maybe I wanted to convince people that I was not the big hairy guy that I am, but it's weird because like the one time that people have, like the one time I went on Xbox Live and played Halo when the Halo 3 beta came out, I remember logging on, and it was the last time I've ever played Halo because I had such a, well, it wasn't a bad experience, it was just an unfortunate experience. I logged on to the lobby and there were all these kids like talking, and they saw my username and they were like, Littlekuriboh, is that Japanese for penis? And I was like, okay, no more Halo.
Wow. That sucks.
And some people like know Kuriboh as the name of the Goombas in Mario as well, so sometimes I get asked about that and I have to explain, no, it's a thing from Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're very disappointed.
Okay, so you mentioned that you did fan fiction, right?
Yes.
So that's how you came up with the whole series, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridge series?
Not so much. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridge series was kind of inspired by the fact that I was very bored, and I used to, back in the day, like I would mute the TV and put on episodes of Babylon 5, and I set up this huge video camera because back in the day we didn't have like little handhelds that produced good footage. I set up this huge camera that was as big as a chair, and I filmed the TV and just talked over it with my friends, and we did different voices and stuff. So that was kind of the impetus for the idea behind it, because I wanted to keep doing stuff like that, but my friends weren't always around, so sometimes I just do it on my own. And so I found episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I muted the audio on the video editor, and I just recorded myself talking. And I felt at the time that I did fairly good approximation of all the voices, sometimes better than others, but I think the main thing that caused me to want to make it an Abridged series was that I felt like there was a lot of stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh! That could be taken out, namely the card game aspect. I mean, the card game is a big deal, obviously, because people play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it's a big part of this convention. There's a charity tournament happening tomorrow. But I think as far as in the anime, it kind of gets in the way of the story of the characters a little bit, so I kind of wanted to remove that. And I found that once you removed the card game, you were left with about 3 minutes of video. So I just took that and I decided to try and make it funny, and lo and behold, several thousand people seem to like that.
Oh, of course, I love it. It's one of the best.
Glad you like it.
And my next question is, you do all these episodes. What are the challenges of doing a Abridge series?
Challenges? A lot of the challenge, depending on how you're doing it, is getting the project, like getting people to work on the project with you. Because not everybody can do, I mean, I'm not meaning to brag or anything, but I do a lot of different voices for the show, but some people don't have a voice that can really, you know, accommodate that. So sometimes you have to look for other voice actors, and the more people you like, the more cooks you add, the more chances are the broth's going to get spoiled. So, or the longer it's going to get done. So I think the biggest challenge is knowing who to work with and how well you'll be able to work with them. Fortunately, a group like Team 4-Star, for example, they're very close friends. They're like brothers. So those guys are like that. They know exactly how the other one's going to think, and they record like within a week of writing the script, and they're a well-oiled machine. But I think really finding the right group and the right project is probably the hardest part, because when it comes down to it, writing, recording, and editing is difficult, but it gets done. Mm-hmm. But if you find out that you're working with somebody that you don't get along with, or you don't agree with, or you're working on a project that you're just not passionate about, you're not going to get it done.
Yes. Awesome. My next question is, did you ever thought the Yu-Gi-Oh's Abridge Series would get this popular, this big?
If I knew at the time when I made it, I would have been too intimidated to do it. Because, I mean, when I started creating Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I was in a kind of a dark place. I was depressed, I was a bit of a shut-in, and if I knew that that making these parody videos was going to lead to me standing in front of crowds of sometimes several thousand people, like I say, it would have been too much. It would have been too intense. It would have been too much pressure. And I would have been like, is this funny? Is this funny? Is what I'm doing even any good? And sometimes I'm even like that these days, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. So if I'd known at the time, I would have been too afraid. But it's been a huge blessing. It's changed my life in so many positive ways. I've met great people. I've met my wife, and it's made me a better person in general. So I'm glad that it happened the way it did.
Nice, awesome. So I guess my next question is, you like, of course you like Yu-Gi-Oh. Mm-hmm. What other anime do you prefer to watch?
Oh, I don't actually watch that much new anime. I probably should catch up, but I like a lot of the old stuff. I like Tenchi Muyo. That was a big favorite of mine back in the day, early 90s. I'm a big fan of Evangelion. That's probably one of my favorites. Yes. And I just recently watched Gankutsuo, The Count of Monte Cristo, which my wife did. That's her favorite anime. And I was really big into that. I thought the dub was fantastic. I thought it was incredible. Other anime shows, I mean, obviously Yu-Gi-Oh! I like all the stuff that, what's the guy who did Summer Wars and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time? I've forgotten his name, but he's a fantastic director. He's great. And Miyazaki, obviously, all his stuff.
Oh, yes. Huge fan of Miyazaki myself. So I guess my second and last question is, what is next for Littlekuriboh?
Well, I can't say too much about it, but I actually just got cast in my first professional anime role.
Oh, really?
So yeah, you'll actually be able to purchase something with Littlekuriboh as an actual voice in it.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. I think you're probably one of the first people to hear about it.
Yes.
So I'm glad to give you that exclusive.
That's awesome.
But aside from that, I'm trying to write a few original scripts, and I will be still releasing videos, probably at a slower pace than I used to, just because I've got all this other stuff going on in my life. But yeah, it's hopefully onwards and upwards. Keep watching the Tyuno project, and please do visit YugiOhAbridged.com for all your Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged updates.
Thanks so much.
No problem, man.
Mr. Littlekuriboh. And that's it.